Um, yeah, I just want to quickly talk about obese people. So not really fat people, but obese. So I can't seem to understand what it is with obese people, because not all I must confess, but there are some of them that just go, oh, I'm fat and I like it, I'm fat and I like it. Nobody says to be fat is a bad thing. To be fat is not a bad thing at all. Some people are naturally chubby, some people are naturally fat, but what matters is for you to be healthy. So you can't be fat and you're unhealthy and you're not doing anything about it. So that's I really get frustrated. I get annoyed when I see people being proud of their unhealthiness. Let me put it like that. Like, you're literally unhealthy and you're proud of it. And especially my most concern is with the ones that are in their 20s, in their 30s, and they're proud of it. What will happen when you're 40 or 50 or even 60? Now, I'm not saying that all heart attacks or high blood pressures are caused by fatness or that, but then, I mean, okay, I know of a young lady who was in her 20s, and she used to say, oh, I'm size 20 and I like it, I'm size 20 and I'm proud of it, but she's unhealthy. This girl had she was suffering from high blood pressure, and I think she collapsed or she fainted or something like that. Nobody is saying that you shouldn't be chubby. Nobody is saying that to be fat is a disease, but girl, like, work on it, especially if you've not, especially if you don't have any children, if you're not married, you're just in your 20s. What are you doing? Work on it. I'm not saying go to the gym. If you don't want to go to the gym, that's absolutely fine. It's not a must that you must go to the gym, but just be healthy. And again, you're not doing anybody, you're doing yourself. Just like Nigerians will say, they do anybody, now yourself they do. So that's it. You're not to me, it's selfishness to be so unconscious and so reluctant to take care of yourself now, and later when you're old you start putting pressure on people to be carrying you up and down to one hospital or the other and all that. It to me is selfishness. I see it as selfishness, because when you had the opportunity to actually work on yourself, to actually be healthy, you were being proud of your unhealthiness. Now you're sick, you're diabetic, you're whatever you want to be, and you're searching for people to carry you around. That's not fair. Why put the burden on people when you can actually start something, when you can actually do something? Like, okay, I just want to use myself as an example. Currently weighing about 70 something kilos, although I promised myself to go down to size 70 to 70 kg by Christmas, but I kind of slowed down on my diet and all that. But early I think sometime in June, or no, July, I went for my brother's in-laws graduation, and I was so big. I'll show the picture now. I was so big, and I didn't even want to take pictures with them, because like my stomach looked like I was 6 or 7 months pregnant, even if I wasn't. And I was even wearing a girdle or whatever they call it, but I was still feeling so big. I lacked so much confidence that I couldn't even do anything. But I didn't even know I was that big until the pictures came out, and I was like, how did I get here? And mind you, before I got to the UK, I was weighing about 50 kgs. So for me to just put on so much weight all of a sudden, it was mentally it was mentally stressful. I was literally depressed because of my weight. And after seeing the pictures and how big I was, I decided to weigh myself. And lo and behold, I remember buying a scale, and it got to my house the next day. Lo and behold, I was weighing 92 kg, or 91 or 92 anyways. I was like, what? This is someone that used to weigh 50 kg. From 50, like I was weighing 50 when I was in Italy, and I got to the UK in January 2016, and I'm now weighing 92 kg after 2 children. Like literally after almost 4 years in the UK, and I put on 40 plus kg. You can't believe how depressed I was. I was really depressed. Like, all I wanted to do was to eat, but at the same time, after eating, I'll feel guilty for eating. So that's how depressed I was. So I just told myself, I said, okay, yeah, now I'm going to go on a diet. I'm going to start gym or whatever. Although for the first and again, I was having when I was so big, when I was weighing 90 plus kg, I was always having boils. If you know my auntie or my husband, you can ask them. I was having boils that sometimes I can't even do anything. I can't walk, I can't do anything. At a point, I went to the doctor. They prescribed me so many things, so many drugs, antibiotics, but nothing seemed to work. Nothing seemed to work. I just kept having boils upon boils upon boils, and the boils, when they pop, instead of, you know, when a boil pop, they go back, like your skin go back to normal. But no, mine, when they pop, my flesh, literally my flesh would start showing from my skin. And there was even a time that the doctor told me that I would need surgery to close it. That's how bad my boys were. And like, you wouldn't believe, since I decided to work on myself and lose weight, the boils stop. Literally, like, I still do get them once in a while, but not as painful or not as bad as before. So what I'm trying to say is that this is what these boils were caused by how fat I was. So imagine other people that are going through one thing or the other. And again, like someone like me that is anemic, I couldn't even breathe. Like, I would walk from I would walk just 30 seconds and I would start panting. I would start because I can't breathe, because I was too big. So sometimes I wonder how big people, who, I'm not saying, because there are some people that are actually fat and are healthy. Congratulations, those ones are okay, because like I said, not everybody are born naturally slim, and it's not a must that you must be slim. So that's not what I'm talking about. But what I'm trying to say is people who are fat but they wouldn't work on themselves, like, it's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous, because there are a lot of health complications, and I'm still in my 20s, though I'm in my late 20s. I'm still in my 20s, but I can't imagine myself having so much health complications. It like, I can't breathe. I couldn't breathe. I was having boils problem and all that, and not to talk of when I'm in my 30s or 40s, and the fat just keeps accumulating. I can't imagine how, like, by then I would have to now put the burden on my husband or on my children when they grow up and all that. That's actually selfishness. It's selfishness, knowing that, I'm not saying that you should be slim or whatever for anybody. You need to do it for yourself, not for anybody, for yourself. Because at the end of the day, the person that's going to be suffering heart attack, high blood pressure, boils, or any other complications is you. is only you. And yeah, it might affect your loved ones, because of course they will hate seeing you in pain, but the person actually going through it physically is you. So why not work on it now? Why are you so comfortable with it? Why? Like, I don't get it, especially when, like, just be healthy. It's healthy. Yeah. Well, I have to admit, I've slowed down in my diet, because I was having a chronic diet. My diet was just really horrible, because I just wanted to cut down everything immediately. So I was on a fasting diet. I was taking slim teas, slim pills, and gym. I was going to the gym like 4 to 5 times a week for an hour minimum per session. So I was literally doing some crazy stuff, but that's because I just wanted to cut down all the weight. But then that's not what I'm trying that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that just be healthy for yourself. Just be healthy, and don't be comfortable with it, because you might be enjoying it now, but in few years to come you won't be enjoying it anymore, and you'll be searching for someone to take you from here to there, from hospital to hospital. And you would, even if you're that type of Nigerian that keep telling yourself that is so spiritual about everything, you would even start saying, oh, my enemies are at me, my enemies are trying to get me. No, it's not your it's not your enemies, it's you. You are the one doing yourself, according to Nigerians. Now they do yourself, not be any other person they do. So please just brace up and work on yourself. Be healthy, especially in these days. It's not, if we were even in Nigeria, it would have even been okay, kind of like you don't really need to go to the gym to be healthy, because even Nigerian sun, even as you are eating Nigerian sun, we just burn out all the fats from your body. And again, because of like traffic and stuff, like you find yourself walking a lot, like walking around, and maybe from your office or from your, like you actually walk, but like in Europe or America, where you've got cars and stuff and buses, it's become more difficult to walk. So you find it you find yourself just like being lazy. And again, if you're the type of person that work long hours, you find yourself even eating a lot of junk food, which was what I was doing. So yeah, you find yourself eating a lot of junk food, and at the end of the day, you just be unhealthy. So even if you want to eat takeaways or junk food, what you can do, if you want to eat takeaways or junk food, what you can do, no, if you want to eat takeaways, not junk food, if you want to eat takeaways, at least order for something healthy, not like all these unhealthy stuff. It's once in a while it's good. I'm not saying it's no good, but in the days of today, that there are cancer everywhere. You hear this one have breast cancer, this one cancer, the other one cancer. Like I find it really disturbing when I see women not willing to work on themselves and being comfortable with how unhealthy they are. Like it's really perplexing. So please, this is just my little advice. I'm not saying that to be fat is bad. I'm not saying that. All I'm just trying to say is that be healthy. That's all, and that's all I've been trying to say from the beginning of this video. If you like this video, please share, comment, like, subscribe, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, and bye.